listen to me closely, because I am about to dismantle the single greatest hallucination that you have been force-fed since the moment you were old enough to understand the concept of a dollar bill. I want you to visualize a scene that happens thousands of times a day across this plastic-wrapped nation. You walk into a car dealership. The lighting is too bright, the coffee is stale, and the smell of desperation is mixed with floor polish. You see the car you want. It costs $45,000. You have worked like a dog. You have saved. You have bled for that money. You sit down across from a guy named Brad or Chad or Mike, who is wearing a suit that is slightly too shiny, and you say the most forbidden words in the American English language. You say, "I want to write a check for the full amount right now." Now, watch his face. Does he look happy? Does he look relieved that he is making a guaranteed sale with zero risk? No. His smile twitches. The air leaves the room. He looks at you like you just confessed to a felony or like you just spoke in an alien tongue. He starts sweating. He shuffles his papers. He leans in and says, "Are you sure you don't want to look at our financing options? We have a special promotional rate. If you finance, we can knock $500 off the price." He is literally begging you to keep your money. He is begging you to take the bank's money instead. Why? Why is the system allergic to your solvency? Why does paying with the fruit of your labor make you look like a lunatic, while signing a contract to give away your future labor makes you look like a responsible citizen? Welcome to the matrix of the United States financial system, where debt is virtue and ownership is suspicion. You need to understand that you are living in a reality that has been inverted. In any sane civilization throughout human history, having the resources to pay for your needs was the ultimate sign of stability and power. But here, in this glorious land of the free, if you pay cash, you are invisible. You are a ghost. Even worse, you are a glitch. You are a rat that refuses to run in the wheel, and the system does not know what to do with you. This is not an accident. This is a carefully architectural design meant to keep you in the golden chain forever. Let's dig into the belly of this beast. The reason paying cash is considered crazy is because the entire economy is addicted to the juice, the vigorish, the interest. When you pay cash, the transaction ends the moment you hand over the check. It is final. It is clean. There is no relationship anymore. You have the car, they have the money, goodbye. But the system hates finality. The system craves a relationship, a parasitic relationship where they can bleed you slowly, drop by drop, month by month, for 5, 6, 7 years. That car salesman makes less money on the sale of the metal box than he does on the kickback from the bank for signing you up for the loan. The product is not the car. The product is the loan. The car is just the bait on the hook to get you to swallow the debt. You are not the customer. You are the livestock. You are the financial. And the most brilliant, evil trick they ever pulled was the invention of the credit score, the FICO score. This 3-digit number that rules your life. It determines where you can live, what you drive, how much you pay for insurance, and in some dystopian cases, whether you can get a job. They sold you this idea that a high credit score is a badge of honor, a sign that you are winning at finance. That is a lie so big it blocks out the sun. Your credit score is not a measure of your wealth. It is not a measure of your success. It is not a measure of your intelligence. A billionaire who pays cash for everything and has never borrowed a dime in 10 years could have a 0 or indeterminate credit score. Does that mean he is broke? No. It means he is free. Meanwhile, the premium poor rat living next door, who leases a BMW he cannot afford, swipes a platinum Amex for dinners he cannot afford, and makes the minimum payment every single month like a good little slave, has a score of 800. The score measures one thing and one thing only. How good of a milk cow are you for the banks? How efficiently can they harvest interest from you without you collapsing and dying before the harvest is complete? A high credit score just means you are a delicious, reliable snack for the master, and you are out there polishing this score like it's a trophy. Oh, look at me. I have an 820. Congratulations, you are the best slave on the plantation. You have the shiniest shackles. You are proud of your leash. This cultural insanity goes deeper. Try to rent an apartment without a credit history. You walk in with a briefcase full of cash, enough to pay the rent for a full year in advance. You put it on the landlord's desk. Logic dictates that you are the perfect tenant. You represent zero risk. But the landlord looks at you with fear. Why? Because the computer says, no data. The algorithm cannot compute a human being who does not owe money. They think you are a drug dealer. They think you are a fugitive. The system has successfully brainwashed the population into believing that debt equals trust. If you don't owe anyone money, you cannot be trusted. Think about how twisted that logic is. It is gaslighting on a national scale. They have convinced you that the only way to prove you can handle money is to constantly be in a state of borrowing it. And then we have the smart rats, the ones who think they have hacked the matrix, the points guys. You know them. Maybe you are one of them. Oh, I put everything on my credit card for the points, but I pay it off in full every month. So I am beating the bank. Listen to me, you arrogant little rodent. You are not beating the bank. You are playing in a casino that was built by mathematicians and behavioral psychologists who are smarter than you, richer than you, and more patient than you. Let's do the napkin math, the brutal arithmetic that you refuse to look at. You think you are winning because you got 2% cash back? Or because you got enough airline miles for a free flight to Cabo? Let's dissect the cost of that free flight. When you use plastic, the pain of payment is anesthetized. This is proven science. When you hand over physical cash, when you count out $20 bills, your brain registers pain. It registers loss. You feel the money leaving. It makes you hesitate. It makes you ask, do I really need this overpriced latte? But when you swipe or tap or insert the chip, nothing. It feels like nothing. In fact, it feels good. It's a dopamine hit. A little sound, a vibration. Studies show, and this is undeniable, that people spend anywhere from 12 to 18% more when they use credit cards versus cash. So, let's do the math. You spent 115% of what you would have spent with cash just to get 2% back. You are losing 13% of your wealth to the friction-free psychology of spending, and you are celebrating the 2% crumbs they throw at you like a dog waiting for a treat. You are spending thousands of extra dollars a year on things you do not need to earn a flight that would have cost you $400 if you had just bought it with cash. You are not gaming the system. The system is gaming your biology. The smart rat also forgets the risk. You are walking a tightrope. You say, I'd pay it off every month. Until you don't. Until you lose your job. Until you get sick. Until a pandemic hits. Until the car breaks down. Life happens, and the moment The single moment you miss that payment or you can't pay the full balance, the trap snaps shut. The interest rate jumps to 25, 28, 30%. All those rewards you earned for the last 5 years are wiped out in 2 months of interest payments. The banks know this. They are banking on your inevitable stumble. They know that 90 degrees discipline for 40 years. You are betting your financial life that you will never make a mistake, never have an emergency, and never lose your income. That is toxic leverage. That is betting the farm to win a toaster. Then there is the social pressure, the poverty of perception. In the US, if you pull out a wad of cash at a nice restaurant to pay the bill, people look at you funny. It's considered low class. Sophisticated people use metal cards. The heavier the card, the more elite you are. If you drop a titanium card on the table and it makes that heavy clank sound, everyone is impressed. Ooh, look at him. He is a premium poor. He is paying $500 a year for the privilege of carrying a piece of metal that allows him to go into debt with style. It is a status symbol that signifies nothing but your ability to be a debtor. The wealthy, the truly wealthy, the sovereignty class, they don't care about the clank. They care about the liquidity. They care about the asset. But you are trained to care about the optic. The system wants you to be cash poor and credit rich. They want your actual bank account to be hovering near zero while your available credit is $50,000. Why? Because when you are cash poor, you are desperate. You are obedient. You will show up to that job you hate at 8 in the morning because you have bills to pay. You cannot take a month off. You cannot quit. You cannot start your own business because you have no runway. You are tethered to the treadmill by the invisible chains of your monthly payments. If everyone paid cash, the economy as we know it would collapse. But you, the individual, would be free. The banks would crumble. The stock market, based on consumer debt, would implode. But your sleep would be deep and peaceful. This credit score obsession creates a society of people who are terrified of their own shadow. You are afraid to close a credit card you don't use anymore because it will hurt my score. Think about how insane that is. You are keeping a financial product open, exposing yourself to fraud and theft just to appease an algorithm. You are afraid to check your own credit report too often because a hard inquiry might drop you 5 points. You are walking on eggshells in your own life. This is not freedom. This is a digital panopticon. You are being watched, graded, and judged by machines owned by 3 private companies, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, who make billions selling your data and who are notoriously incompetent at protecting it. And you worship them. You guard that number with your life. Let's talk about the opportunity cost of this madness. While you are maneuvering your money to maximize points or stressing about your utilization ratio, you are missing the big game. You are focused on pennies while dollars fly over your head. The mental energy you spend managing your debt, juggling payment dates, optimizing rewards, that is mental bandwidth that could be used to create something, to learn a skill, to build a business, to invest in real assets. The rat race is not just about working. It is about the mental occupation of your brain with trivial financial bureaucracy. The system keeps you busy with the paperwork of being poor so you never have the time to figure out how to be rich. The guy paying cash is playing a different sport. When you pay cash, you have negotiating power. Real power. Not the fake power of, I have pre-approval. I mean, the power of, I have the money right now, take it or leave it. You can look that car salesman in the eye and walk away. And when you walk away, you truly walk away. You don't have to worry if the financing will fall through. You don't have to worry about the repo man. You own it. That title comes in the mail, and it has your name on it, not the bank's name. That feeling? That is the feeling of sovereignty. That is the feeling the system wants to rob you of. So why is it crazy to pay cash in the USA? Because it is an act of rebellion. It is a rejection of the American way of life, which is buy now, pay later. It is a rejection of the culture of instant gratification. It requires patience. You have to wait until you actually have the $45,000 before you buy the car. And in a culture that screams, you deserve it now, waiting is seen as a mental illness. Why wait? You can drive it today for $0 down. That is the siren song of the slave ship. They call you crazy because you are breaking the mirror. When you stand there with no debt, paying cash, you are a reflection of what they could be, but are too weak to become. You make them uncomfortable. Your freedom highlights their slavery. Your silence, the absence of payment notifications on your phone, makes their noise unbearable. So, here is the hard truth, the red pill that you need to swallow dry. If you want to escape the cage, you have to be willing to be the crazy one. You have to be willing to have the 0 credit score eventually. You have to be willing to undergo manual underwriting if you buy a house, where a human being actually looks at your income and assets instead of a computer scanning your debt history. It is harder. Yes. It is inconvenient. Yes. You cannot rent the car at the airport as easily without a credit card. You might have to put down a deposit. You might have to jump through hoops. But ask yourself, what is the price of your soul? What is the price of your peace of mind? The convenience of the credit system is the cheese in the trap. The moment you take a bite, the bar comes down on your neck. Stop trying to look rich. Stop trying to impress people who are just as broke as you are. Stop playing the miles game against a casino that owns the deck. Start building real piles of cash. FU money is infinitely more valuable than a FICO score. A pile of cash gives you options. A high credit score just gives you the ability to get into more debt. They will call you crazy. They will call you old-fashioned. They will say you don't understand modern finance. Let them talk. Let the rats squeak while they run on their wheels. You step off, you cut the plastic. You build the pile. You reclaim your mind. You become the anomaly. You become the glitch. And when the next recession hits, when the credit lines dry up, when the rats are being foreclosed on and repossessed, you will be standing there unshakable with your cash in hand, ready to buy their kingdom for pennies on the dollar. That is not crazy. That is the ultimate sanity in an insane asylum. Now, go look at your wallet. If it is full of plastic, you are carrying your own shackles. Cut them today. Wake up.